what's the definition of veganism for you?
Gotcha.
Because, well, I
Okay,
think,
so for me right now, and I need to write it down, but what I think the definition of veganism is it is a moral philosophy that us humans choose to cause practically as little harm and force to any non-human animal as possible, as it is concerned to each individual human that holds the philosophy. So it would be up to each individual to decide what level that is. And let me just comment a little further on that, because I don't think it's as simple as somebody can say I'm vegan, but I also eat hot dogs or something like that. Because then I think somebody can say, well, do you need to? And then there can be a philosophical conversation with that person, and you can point out that no, you do not need to consume this thing. But I don't think there's any way to have a flat out description of what veganism must be. So I think it has to be up to each individual with ongoing conversations.
okay. Sorry, do you know the history of the movement?
I know a bit. Somebody named Leslie and some other dude I can't think of the name of.
Donald
That
Watson?
Yeah, Donald. Yeah, they were part of maybe a vegetarian movement, and they decided to leave that movement and start their own veganism. This was in like what, the 1950s, and I believe that's where the definition of not exploiting animals as far as possible and practicable is that the
Not really. Well, not exploiting animals is part of the definition. It's uh, Leslie Cross defined it as a doctrine that humans should live without exploiting animals. That's
okay.
the short definition. And the as far as practicable and possible part was added like in the 60s, I think, or
Okay,
maybe 70s, I think.
gotcha. Is that the definition you like to use?
Yeah, it is what
It is the definition. Yeah.
the founders of the founders of the movement agreed on. It was a They had a like a meeting of several people who were vegan at the time, the vegan society, and they agreed upon that definition. So I think that's
Yeah.
the definition that we should use as vegans.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
believe in, sorry, if we believe in any other definition, then we shouldn't call ourselves vegans.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, words can evolve over time and change. Some people refer to the idea of being vegan as like not consuming animals. Like, let's imagine the origins of the definition were to not consume animals. And let's say there were a few other things tacked on, but one of it was to not consume animals. Well, then as we all philosophize and come up with these different things and recognize that some of us vegans don't care about something like roadkill. You have roadkill and then you're consuming this thing, but there was no force put onto this animal. There's no rights violations. There's no whatever. Then we could say, hey, these people back in the day had this definition, but we recognize that what it's about shouldn't include this thing. And would you well, first of all, I guess I'm curious, do you think it is not vegan to eat roadkill?
Of course, it's not vegan.
Really?